Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Liz of Chicago Law Luxury Makeup. For today's video, we're going to be doing a quick vlog. I'm first going to be doing my makeup with you, getting ready, using some new to me products from Florasis. They kindly sent over their brand new Nomadic Glam collection, so we're going to be using that, and then I'm going to take you along as I go shopping and make dinner. So if you're curious to see how I created this look and hear my thoughts on these products and see how my day went, keep watching. Today we're going to do things a little bit differently. We're gonna try vlogging again. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I want to incorporate vlogs into my channel. So we're trying a new way. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna go shopping. I'll take you guys along with me. I'm gonna come home, make dinner. Tonight it's actually Sunday, so I should have been filming my Sunday morning get ready with me. It just wasn't going to work out this weekend. So we're going to do things a little bit differently. But it is Sunday and I'm going to be cooking dinner and we're going to be watching the Chiefs game. So I'll kind of like take you along for my day. But first we're going to go ahead and get ready. It's going to be real quick. I do actually have an unboxing. We're going to use everything that I got. I was sent some items from Florasis in PR. So I thought we would go ahead, unbox everything that I got, and I would use that today to make pretty much a full face of Florasis. I know that there is no foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation and concealer. I have opened it. I opened it when I first got it to make sure that everything was intact, but I don't remember what I got. It's the story of my life, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my Tom Ford primer. This is the Soft Matte Primer. I am going to be using a more luminous or natural foundation. So I'll go ahead and use this matte primer today. The foundation I'm going to wear today is the Valentino. I have really been loving it. Absolutely loving it. It is very, very pretty. So this is the foundation that I have. I have shade L in for reference in case you guys have similar skin tone as me. But I wore it last week. I want to say probably 3 out of the 5 days. I really liked it. And last week was just so busy that I ended up getting ready in the car most days. And I think honestly that's the way it's going to be, at least for the winter, because it's so cold and the weather is just so cruddy that I have to take my youngest son to school. So it's harder to get ready in the morning on Instagram and do like my stories when I have to take him to school and then I have to come home and get my other son and get him and go to work. So I ended up getting ready in the car, I don't know, I would say most every day. I try and get ready here, but it's hard. It really is. So this is the first time using this primer underneath this foundation, and it really does mattify that. Wow. Because this is definitely a luminous foundation, but on top of that primer, it definitely looks like a matte. So if you are someone with oily skin, you can definitely get away with wearing this foundation and using a matte primer. It doesn't have to be this primer. The Hourglass has a really beautiful a mattifying primer. I believe that Chanel and Dior both have mattifying primers. So I think any mattifying primer would work. I just happen to really like the Tom Ford. Since I am using the Valentino foundation, I thought I would go ahead and use the Valentino concealer. The concealer is nice. I like the foundation more though. Which is funny because I liked the concealer so much that I went and got the foundation. So that should tell you guys how much I like the foundation. And for reference, the concealer shade is MR1. For cream contour today, I'm going to be using the Westman Atelier, the cream contour stick, and this is in shade Truffle. I did finally wash all my brushes, so I think that this is my brand new sheer buffer. But I had so many brushes that I had to wash, and a lot of them were new. So I went ahead and washed all of those last night, and so now I've got all clean brushes. I'm going to go ahead and unbox everything that I got from Florasis. It came with this beautiful like gift bag. It is so, so pretty. The new collection that they just launched is called Nomadic Glam. And I cannot wait to show you guys these pieces. They are so, so, so pretty. I mean, just so pretty. So first we're going to start with this box. This is the Airbrush Tinted Pressed Powder. So here is the packaging. And then there is the powder. There is a shade. I believe it is Z25 Lotus. Next is their palette. This is the Into the Wild palette in that same outer packaging. And then that's what the palette looks like. I think it looks so pretty. I think you could probably use this for the eyes and the face. And then this is the Peony Dream Cream Blush. Now this is absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. That is like a perfect shade. And then the last thing that was sent over to me is the Ultra Smooth Satin Liquid Lipstick. And it is in shade Sacred Warmth. I am really excited to try all of this. So there is that liquid lipstick. I think it's very, very pretty, and I think it'll look beautiful with the rest of these products. Now, included in there was this little like bag. So it kind of like opens up with 2 hairpins. Now, I have very, very thin hair, and my intention was to kind of use these to pull my hair back, but these are pretty heavy and my hair is really, really thin. I'm afraid that they won't work, but I was really excited to give them a try, but they are pretty heavy. And like I said, my hair is very, very thin. So I'm going to start with this powder. It does look a little light. Let's see if I can. It might work. So I'm going to take my La Mer powder brush. Now, one of the things that I am going to be doing tonight is my nails. So that's what I have to go to Ulta for. I need a base coat and like a top coat. I'd pick up some new Dior nail polishes as well as some Chanel nail polishes. So I need a top coat, and I am going to try the Hermes one, but I don't have it yet, and I definitely need to do my nails. I really, really need to do my nails. So I'm just going to run to Ulta and get something there until I'm able to pick up the Hermes. So that powder went down beautifully. I don't think it's too light at all. I think it is very, very pretty. Since I don't have a bronzer, I'm going to go ahead and use this Gucci. This is shade number 3. I did wash all of my powder brushes. I normally wash them about once a month, and it probably had been over a month. So I went ahead and washed all my powder brushes too. So I've got all clean brushes. All right, so now I'm going to try this cream blush. I'm not sure how pigmented it is. All right, so it says it's a cream. It feels like a powder. I don't think that it is cream. I mean, it feels like a powder. I'm going to pick a little bit up with my BK Beauty 106, but I mean, I think it's a powder. I really, really do. But we'll tap it in as if it's a cream product. So that is definitely a powder. I don't know why it says it's a cream. It is a powder in my opinion. I will look on their website and see what they say to describe it, but it feels just like a powder to me. I think I'm going to take this shade right here and use that as a highlighter. It is called Glittering Sunrise, and it looks really, really pigmented. Oh yeah, look at that. I will definitely have to buff. That is very, very bright. And I'm wondering, I think I could probably use that center shade also as a blush. So I'm going to pick up just a little bit and add it right there on top. Now I have used products from Florasis before, and I do really like them. I think that they are beautiful. They have the most beautiful embossing across any brand that I've ever seen. I mean, their embossing is exquisite. It is so, so pretty. I'm going to go ahead and quickly prime my eyes with my Chanel Cream Shadow and Skin Tools. So what I do before I do my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and swatch all of these shadows for you since this is a brand new palette. And I'm going to start right here. All right, so this is Golden Dewap, but that's a beautiful, beautiful copper. And then I will move to this center shade, which is called Crushed Clay. And then that highlight shade, which again was called Glittering Sunrise. And this shade right here is called Rich Earth. And then this one right here is Soft Sands. This green down here is called Midnight Waters. And then this brown shade right here is called Fresh Topsoil. So that is the palette and the color story that we are working with. So I'm going to start up here with Rich Earth and take that into the crease. So far, these shadows are blending very, very nicely. So now I'm going to go in to that other tan shade, which again is called Soft Sands, to just add a little bit more color to that crease before going in with that dark brown. Now I did have to step away for a second because I got a phone call. I was looking in the mirror at the shadow and the makeup in general, and I think it looks really, really pretty. So this brown is almost like a mustard brown, kind of like a mustard yellow. Now I'm going to go in with the dark matte brown, which again is right down there. And I'm still using that same brush. This is the Sonia G Classic Crease. So last week, my Beautylish Lucky Bag came. I was incredibly disappointed. I mean, I think that's an understatement. And since my video, I have watched several other videos, other people getting pretty much the same bags I did, and they also were disappointed. I haven't seen anyone else's auric shadows look and behave the way mine did, so I definitely think mine was defective. But I have seen everyone else be just as disappointed with the old products. So I feel a little bit justified in my feelings. Now, I do have one correction to make. I actually don't own the Charlotte Tilbury Darlings quad or little palette. I have the Super Nudes, which looks just like it's the same style of palette, but it's a different shade. So I actually don't have that, and I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I still want to give it to my stepdaughter or use it myself. I do think it is very pretty, but my hesitation is I think I would just use it once to review it and then I would never pick it up again. So I should probably just give it to her, but we'll see. I do really, really like that brown, but I will say it's not as pigmented as I thought. I'm actually having to go in multiple times to pick up the product, and it could be just the formula and the brush that I'm using. I may just need a more dense brush. Now I'm going to take a Sonia G Builder and very, very lightly go into this highlight shade. I mean, I feel like it's going to be pretty intense. I take a BK Beauty 204 to just grab some more of that highlight to pop into this inner corner. I mean, that highlight is intense. I'm going to take a Sonia G Detail, and it's a little bit more of a dense brush, so I'll go back into that brown and see if I can build up in this outer corner. That seemed to work a lot better. There's that eye look. I think it is really, really pretty. Very everyday. Absolutely an everyday eye look. Something that I could easily throw on and go to work. I'm gonna go ahead and put some eyeliner on, put some mascara on. For eyeliner today, I'm gonna be using the Chanel Precision Eye Definer in shade Brune Teak. And then for mascara, I'm going to be using the Gucci. I am almost done with this, and my goal is to finish it by the end of January so I can include it in my empties. So I will go ahead and do all of that off camera, and then we'll be back to test out this brand new liquid lip. There is that liquid lipstick. I love that color. That is beautiful. Now, I am not one who wears a lot of reds, so this is slightly outside my comfort zone, but I think it has just enough brown in it to make it more wearable for me. I really, really like it. It feels really, really nice on the lips. So far, I am loving everything from this new Nomadic Glam collection. I think it is beautiful. Let me know down below if you guys have ever tried anything from Florasis. Like I said, I have some other products. I think that they are absolutely beautiful, but I would love to hear from you guys what your thoughts are. Let me know down below. So now that we are ready, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go shopping. Like I said, I need to go to Ulta, and then I'm going to come back, make dinner, and we're going to watch the Chiefs game. I got to Ulta and I just started walking around. It has been so long since I've actually been inside of an Ulta store, and I was shocked to see all of these amazing new brands that they carried in store. There was this big, huge selection of Natasha Denona, which I think I knew that Ulta carried now, but I had completely forgotten that Natasha Denona was there. They had a huge Pat McGrath selection. I honestly did not know that Pat McGrath was at Ulta now. So I was very happy to see a bunch of these really more luxe brands being carried at Ulta now. They had a nice selection of Drunk Elephant, so I was kind of looking around that, looking to see what other skincare they had. They had a beautiful, beautiful Dior selection. They had just put the brand new lipsticks out, so I was looking at those. I did a few swatches. I didn't think I got any of that on video, but I did do a few swatches. They had this foundation that I had honestly never even seen. So I did look at that, and I probably will go back and pick up one of those foundations. I don't think it's new, but it's definitely new to me. The Chanel counter was dark. Like, it looks really, really dark in this lighting, but in the store, it wasn't as dark as it comes off on camera. But I did think that they had a decent Chanel selection. They did have a few eyeshadows, and I have heard that the eyeshadows are being reformulated. So I did pick up one eyeshadow quad that I'd never seen before. And then there was an hourglass display, so I kind of looked around at that. I moved into hair care just to kind of see what they had, what brands they had. And I was very interested in trying this new brand from Jennifer Aniston, and it's the Voila V. I have never tried it, but I am very curious, and at some point I probably will go back and pick it up, but for right now I didn't because I have so much open skincare. But I did have a nice time looking around at everything and seeing what was in store. I then came across the Kitsch section, and of course I had to stop and look to see if they had those awful scrunchies that I got in my Beautylish Lucky bag. They did not have those in store. And then I eventually made my way over to the nail selection to pick up what I was there to get. So I did go ahead and pick up some of my I needed nail polish remover, and then I also did need the base coat as well as a top coat. So I went ahead and picked that up and left the store. So I did get just a few things before making my way home. Once I got home, I started making dinner, and for dinner I just made this rice dish called stick of butter rice or French onion rice. It's really, really good. I made a bourbon marinated pork chop with some rolls, and then we watched the Chiefs game, and of course the Chiefs won, so it was a really good night. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.